Hello, class. For this week's assignment, I chose the object as being my police uniform. So I chose this object because I've spent more than half of my life wearing an authoritative type uniform. I spent 7 years as a correctional officer at the adult correctional institution, which required me to wear a uniform daily. And for the past 22 years, I have served as a police officer for the town of Bristol, which also requires me to wear a uniform. My wife, if she would tell you something more than the fact that 3/4 of my life I've spent in a police uniform because it seems that way. I'm always working, and that's all she identifies me with is my police uniform. So I'm going to give a brief history of the police uniform and how it was adopted in this country, and I'm also going to speak about what the different things on my uniform represent. So the first police officers, the famous Bobbies of London, were issued a dark blue paramilitary style uniform. At that time, the British military was wearing red and white. So to distinguish the two, they were issued dark blue. Based on the London model, here in America, New York City quickly adopted a similar dark blue paramilitary style uniform. Other cities such as Philadelphia, Boston, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Buffalo, and Detroit quickly followed suit by establishing police departments based on the London model and adopting a dark blue paramilitary style uniform. The uniform also serves to establish a hierarchy within each organization. The police uniform can also elicit emotions ranging from pride and respect to fear and anger. I'd like to explain some of the meanings of what the items on my uniform represent. So the most obvious would be the badge. The badge is perhaps the most visible and recognizable symbol of policing around the world. It's seen by many as a sign of authority. The hat. The hat is worn so that citizens can readily identify a police officer in large type crowds. We're more readily identified as a person of authority and someone that is quickly approachable. The FID number. The FID number is a way for someone to identify a police officer by number. Sometimes people don't remember names, and a number may be easier for someone to identify the police officer. Name badge. We wear a name badge that personalizes the police officer and separates us from being just a number. It is used in reports and many other things, and it's good to have a name with a face. Sometimes police officers don't get the chance to give them their name or business card, so we wear it on a uniform so that we can be identified that way. Collar pins. These collar pins are BPD collar pins. They stand for Bristol Police Department. Rank insignia. So as you can see on my epaulet, I wear a captain's bar. That represents my rank within the police department. Some agencies who don't wear collar pins will wear the rank on their collar. Last but not least is the patch. So the patch that is worn on most police officers are indicative, or they represent the community in which they work for. So the history of the town is entered into the patch, along with some other features here, the name of the police department, the state. So it helps to also identify where the police officer is from. So in closing, I want to leave you with this. Police officers wear a uniform to identify their professionalism and to establish authority and give the public a certain sense of safety. Although the uniform tells us a little bit about the person who is wearing the uniform's character, maybe their values and integrity, it does not identify the person who is wearing the uniform. I'm a father, I am a husband, I am a son, I am a brother, amongst other things, and I'm a person just like you. So, when you see a police officer, there's much more behind the uniform than what you see. Thank you.